Hi everyone, it's Rachel and Anthony.
Hello.
From Don't Crop Me Now. We're going to give you an update on our fruit cage. So I'm inside the fruit cage and I'm hoping to show some of you guys today that not everybody on YouTube actually has a completely perfect allotment. I totally understand that most of our plots would be deemed very, very tidy, and even this fruit cage really was until a few months ago. But unfortunately this season there's been quite a bit of bindweed that's been creeping into this fruit cage and through our composting system from a surrounding plot that wasn't particularly well kept. And this has been extremely frustrating and disheartening for me. I'll be honest, I got to the point where I thought, stuff it, I don't even know what I want to do with this fruit cage. But I have made a decision. We invested a lot of money in putting this structure up and we really need to get back on top of it. We did actually get really good fruit from it this summer, and it just perhaps needs a little bit of a reorganisation, and that's what we have started today. So here is one of the offending bindweed roots. I'd have to say there was quite a bit that was climbing up the side of this fruit cage, and once something like bindweed gets within an existing structure, it can be really difficult to manage. So I did manage some of that within the summer as much as I could, because there were actually some big red currant bushes here. But what I'm going to need to do is to dig this area out and try and find any more of these roots. Fingers crossed there's not too many. Then the plan is going to be that we are going to train this huge blackberry vine, and we are going to train it down this area. One of the other problems we've actually found is because the blackberry vine grows so big, it's actually growing out of the top of our fruit cage and it has ripped the net on the top of here. So I think we need to give it a bit more room so it's easier for us to tie it in early in the season as the new shoots come through. So the idea is we are going to put a structure maybe about this high all the way along this bed, and then we're going to train it hopefully much better in this direction. The fruits we got off this blackberry were absolutely amazing. It is a thornless variety, really big fruits like that. So that is probably one of the most productive things we've had in this fruit cage, so we definitely want to use that really well and get it set up a little bit better. In this area now where you can actually see a bit of soil, there was what's meant to be a small strawberry bed. It had just gone completely wild. The runners were absolutely everywhere. I've just decided to get it out. We've got lots of strawberry beds on the allotment. They don't particularly need to be in this cage, and it just meant that it was quite difficult to walk around without squashing all the strawberries anyway. There was also a dwarf mulberry bush that I planted in this bed that I'm standing in now. It's meant to have a spread of only 1 metre, but that doesn't seem to be growing. I think it might actually be dead, so I've just decided to take it out and we'll use this space for some of the larger blueberry pops. This espalier fruit tree, which seemed a good idea at the time, is just impossible to control. The upwards growth that we get from this tree, the vertical growth, is just so much in summer. I can't keep up with it. I can't stop it going through the roof. Again, it's damaging the netting, so it's going to have to come out, which is a shame. We do have another plum tree in here which is shaped a little bit better, that does quite well. So I think we're going to get this out. We're going to see if we can donate it to be planted on some of the communal area of the grounds, on maybe the community plot or the new communal area that we've got on our ground. It was actually starting to fruit. I don't know if it's a bit too late to move it, but I think it's all enough and we're just going to have a go. It's causing too much problems with the netting to leave it in place. In the tubs we've got quite a lot of blueberry and gooseberry and some smaller blackcurrant plants. I think I'm going to clean these tubs up and just rearrange them a little bit. They need a good weed. We did actually do some summer pruning on some of the blackcurrants, but we might need to do a little bit more. Other than that, it's just a big tidy up. There's a lot of leaves on the floor, and that's from that summer pruning. All the leaves are just falling off those branches. I did actually remove them from the cage early in the week and burn those, and that's why the area with the slabs just looks like it's full of leaves. So once we've sort of cleared that up and swept it, it should look a lot better. The final job that we are having to do to tidy up in here is to manage this weed. And you know what, I'm not even sure which weed it's called. I tried to identify it and I couldn't figure it out, but it is an absolute pain in the bottom. It roots really well in between flags and any sort of area it can get its root into. It's absolutely solid. If you try to pull it out in between the flags, it just breaks off and then grows back again. And I'm pretty sure it's also spreading by sending some roots out underneath the slabs as well. So what I'm having to do is to pull these bricks out, which is the main area. There must have been a bit of a seeding that went on here. I'm taking those bricks out and I'm removing those plants by the root, and I have to put the bricks back in. Hopefully that shouldn't be too bad, but it should help us get better on top of that for next year and keep the brickwork looking a little bit tidier. And there we go, we've done a good few hours work on this fruit cage today, and it isn't looking much better. It's not completely finished, but the bulk of the work is done. So we have tidied up a lot of the potted areas and moved things around, tidied up around the slabs. We have dug out this area that had the red currants in and managed any remaining bindweed that there was in there. Surprisingly, there was less than I thought there was going to be. We have put this new structure in and tied in this year's growth of this thornless blackberry and cut off last year's growth. In order to do this, we had to really rip the blackberry out of this netting, so we will need to replace this netting, but like I said at the start, we'll do that in spring. So tomorrow we'll probably take the top of the netting off. Just a good tip there, it is a good idea to do that in winter if you can, because it prevents any snow building up which can cause your fruit cage to collapse. So overall, a pretty good day's work. So if you've enjoyed the video today, please do like, comment and subscribe. It only takes a minute, but it really helps our channel. Bye everyone.
Bye. It's raining and I need a brew.